Well, hello, my darlings. Here I am again. Thank you for joining me. This is Wallace, Psychic Medium. Jude's not on today. She's under the weather, not feeling well. Not sure how this is all going to pan out. But anyway, here I am. And at this point of time, yeah, I don't want to get into it, don't want to visit it, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, here I am, and I am so very happy. Yes, happy to be here with you all. A little bit of housekeeping to begin with. Let me just check the time so that I know how long I am going to talk to you and be on here. So, yeah, good one. Lovely day here in Melbourne, Australia. It's been raining like crazy. Hail yesterday. Freezing bloody cold for us here in the sunny state of Melbourne, or sunny Australia normally. I mean, it is winter, darlings. It is winter, and we have to put up with the weather. And I don't really mind. I mean, it's a first world problem, isn't it, darlings? I'm inside. It's warm. It's cozy. It's fabulous. And, I'm definitely, absolutely not going to be whinging and whining about the bloody weather. More on our plate than all of that, haven't we, darling? And, pardon me, bit of housekeeping. So, if you like the channel, please subscribe, so we can get to I can get to a bigger number, have more, do more, say more. It's exciting times. It's exciting time for us all. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this great energy in the universe for expansion, and I know at the moment it seems like it's contracting, but it isn't. It's expanding, which is the reason for all of this chaos and calamity and all this stuff that's going on. I think out there in the heavens, there's lots of, lots going on, lots happening. They're telling me that it's a great time of darkness, a great time of chaos and upsets, but like life is, on the other hand, there is also this amazing transformation, this amazing moving to something different and wonderful and spectacular, and that's on the go. That is in the pipeline, which is why the darkness is not wanting to give way to the light. Let's put it that way, without making more of it. Okay, so if you love the channel, I digress, don't I? As always, and sometimes people, say things about that negatively. But I do get lots of positives, and thank you so much for the positives and the negatives. I don't mind. I don't care. I don't care, darlings. And, if I digress a bit, well, it's just me. It's my personality. And I guess that, that's the whole thing about this channel. I was having a chat with someone this morning about, this whole thing about diversity. And, we need the diversity. We need the difference. What would it be like if we all came as souls to learn, and we came into a cloned humanity, a cloned society? Where would we be then? A bunch of, as I keep saying, a bunch of bloody drones. We'd be, a bunch of drongos. We'd be, what would we be? Who would we be? We'd be nobody, because there'd be nothing to grow in. It'd be quite a sterile playground, wouldn't it? And that's not what it's supposed to be. It's not what it's meant to be. It's meant to be this amazing, spectacular journey for the soul to grow and experience and be different. Be different. So, again, I digress. click on the link below and subscribe to the channel if you like the channel. I'd love to have you subscribe to it. We've got a guest coming on. I've got a guest coming on. I'm not sure. Anyway, I won't get into it. We'll just have to see how it all works out, darlings. Change is here for us all. And we've got to just go with it. And we go with it in our personal lives. And we're going with it in the world at the moment, aren't we? I mean, what is there other than adapting and sticking to our guns, so to speak, and I mean that metaphorically, sticking to our knitting and, knitting and weaving and producing fabulous for ourselves. And I mean produce fabulous for yourself. Why not? I mean, if you're going to do something, why not do it spectacularly? Why not go out with a great attitude of possibility? And why not? I mean, we're all faced with that, darlings, aren't we? I mean, things happen and they're not planned and they're not something that we, if we're going, oh, well, perfection, I'll choose this, because life isn't perfect, but it can be perfectly life. That's a bit of a dichotomy, isn't it? But, it's not perfect, but we can make perfect out of it. We can look at it and say, well, some things are just meant to be. Do I sound a bit melancholy? Don't mean to, because I'm feeling quite up. I'm feeling quite upbeat. I'm feeling, excited about the possibilities, excited about life. I've been doing quite a bit of reading lately. I'm at the moment reading, I've got a little thing, I'm reading Mel Robinson, is it? Mel Robinson. I'm reading her books at the moment, Mel Robinson or whatever. Her name eludes me, the last name, but I'm reading her books on, Let Them and the 5-second rule and the high five. I'm very interested in that. She talks about, standing in front of the mirror and high-fiving yourself and what a difference and what an amazing thing that is. So perhaps try that, darlings. Stand in front of the mirror, high-five yourself and, see how you feel. Do that as a bit of a lift. Do that as a bit of a shot in the arm. So click on the link below. If you like it, you can go and buy me a coffee over at Buy Me a Coffee, and the link will be up. Clara, my beautiful Clara, will put that up. And did you look last week at the link about the election, the stolen election, and how they did it? I wondered how they did it. I watched it very closely and I thought something's amiss here, something's not right. Did you read that? That was very, very interesting. So, buy me a coffee, do those sorts of things. Support the channel by subscribing. That would be absolutely fabulous. And now on with the show. She'll get the cards out. She's got the cards here. I'll be shuffling those in a minute. We did have a question. We asked for questions if you had questions. But the one question that was asked was about Newsom in California and, that whole area. I'm going to just do a very quick little reading on that, just a 5-card reading on Newsom in California and how that's going to pan out. There's a bit of a Mexican, pardon the pun, a bit of a Mexican standoff there with, oh, yes, okay. That card came out first, darlings. We're going to pop it here and we're going to put the other ones over top of it because it's as I believed and as I'm being told. There is a bit of a standoff between the two of them. Newsom's standing very firm in his, what he's doing and how he's handling that with the courts and those areas to bring in and to show that the legal system still works, can't give up on it. You've got to look at the legal system and go, it does work. Okay, the death card came out. The death card to me, I'm going to go with it first. The death card to me is yes, 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 yes. Newsom will hold on that. He'll pull back on it. The courts will rule that that's not legal. And, the Knight of Cups came out. I'm seeing here, of course, it's a very emotional time. It's a very emotional time, but it's also this here Eight of Cups walking away. Yes, Donny Two Dolls, he'll walk away because he's got nothing to stand on. He's on fragile ground. Oops. Nine of Swords, love it, love, love, love. Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's very the stuff that's going on with him, darling. It's not well. Wheel of Fortune. End of all this nonsense. End of this bullshit. I'm going to be very, very blunt today. There's going to be a bit of language flying today, darlings, because I'm not going to hold back. I was having a look at our friend Lena, and I noticed she headed hers up this week, having a rant. I feel the same. I feel like I'm in a bit of a rant as well over the whole thing, as you'll tell as I go on. So Wheel of Fortune, end of it. Yeah, there's an end to all this, and it's an end of a cycle. It's the end of it's the end of a scene. Justice, seeing why, and we all keep asking, why don't we see, Donny Two Dolls being brought to justice? Well, darling, there was a chance there that, we'd see him brought to justice, but when they rigged the election and when all that happened, then, he put himself in a position. I've got the whole lot flying everywhere here. He put himself in a position where, he's not totally untouchable, but it needs some very, very strong people around, and that includes Congress and the Senate. It needs some very, very strong people to push back. And I think what we're going to be seeing is a pushback. And I saw it in the cards yesterday. There was a pushback from the women, and it was interesting. This morning on the news, AOC had a go at him and is calling for impeachment. That doesn't surprise me, because yesterday, two very strong women, Crockett and AOC is one to be reckoned with. She doesn't hold back, and she doesn't mince words, and she doesn't do any of that. So I hope the person who asked the question about California, that's going to be, that's going to hold. He's going to get rid of that ICE mob. And aren't the ICE mob, aren't a lot of them the people that he pardoned, and that's why they wear their masks? Is that right? Make comments, because I think it's right. Interesting that he's denying entrance to tourists, various tourists, and of course, I wouldn't be going to the US, they'd probably hate me. But he's denying entrance to tourists, while, Donny Two Dolls is, flying around the world as a felon. How does that happen? I thought felons weren't, able to get visas and leave the United States. And here we are. And, he's supposedly deporting all these other people across the border because they're all rapists and felons. And hello, is he looking in the mirror? Is Donny Two Dolls seeing himself lately? He's a felon and he's a rapist. And there's been a lot recently, hasn't there, with E. Jean Carroll coming out and, talking about the trial and talking about things, because he's been beaten, and he wanted the government to be, to stand in on his behalf and handle all of the, the pushback against it. I ask you, darlings. Okay, now I'm going to do a little reading. Well, first of all, I'm going to do a little rant. And my little rant is around some of the background of all this. this whole thing about the Middle East and Iran and that whole thing. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a situation where the Republicans, the gangsters, the whole spin doctors and the whole story was that, you know, they probably would retaliate against Iran. Don't forget that this was a Middle East conflict between the other criminal in Israel, Netanyahu. He's a criminal. He belongs behind bars. He should be in jail, and he would be if he hadn't started the Palestinian war. So we won't go there, but that's the background to it. He's a criminal. An absolute, unequivocally, he's a criminal, and he belongs in jail. Another one. So here he is. He starts the war in the Middle East, conflict between him and Iran. Not hard to figure out, not difficult to imagine. So he was going to, that was his next step anyway after Palestine. And so then America gets involved with the whole thing, because Netanyahu and the other criminal in America, Donnie Two Dollars, it's a joke, darlings, it's a joke. If it wasn't so serious, I could be rolling on the floor in bloody laughter. So the conflict, then America gets involved. Donnie Two Dollars gets involved because he's decided, the spin doctors have decided that they'll probably have to have a go at Iran. This was a few weeks ago. They'd probably have to have a go at Iran because they were threatening to assassinate Donald Trump. That was the big story at the time, a few weeks ago. People forget things very quickly, don't they, darlings? We all forget what's said. There's so many lies. How do we remember the lies? So that's the story about, you know, he's going to be assassinated. They're threatening to assassinate him. They'll probably have a go at him. So then they decide that doesn't get enough. People aren't that interested in whether he's going to be assassinated or not. There's just not enough groundswell for that one. So then they change their tack and they pull out the old playbook, the Bush playbook, weapons of mass destruction. And so they pull that one out and scare the shit out of everyone that Iran have got, you know, in these deep, deep bunkers. Sounds familiar? They've got hidden all of this stuff they need, and in fact, you know, they've just about got it ready. It probably got launch sites under there. You know, they're going to be armed, nuclear armed. Now, none of this is substantiated. It's all a crock of shit. There are no weapons of mass destruction or huge stockpiles of uranium under the ground, and the only people in the world who can shoot something into the ground is America, you think. What's China doing over here? Anyway, don't go there. So then we've got this whole thing. They're going to get them. They're going to, you know, put them off there, as if they spend all of their time, you know, working on uranium and stockpiling the type of uranium that they need to even begin. How long does that take? Where's the technology? What's the rest? But anyway, we've now got a situation where none of this is backed up by intelligence. None of it. Didn't support any of this. It was hypothetical bullshit. No, it was the spin doctor, Donnie Two Dollars, was at it again. So now we have, up to the current time, now we have Donnie Two Dollars. I slapped you in the face and humiliated you. I dropped some bombs on you. It's all over. World peace now reigns and exists. And does it? No, we've just stepped in another pile of bullshit. Oh, have I ranted enough? Have I ranted enough, darlings? And here we have a convicted felon who can't carry a gun. Convicted felons cannot carry guns. And yet here he is. He can put his finger on the button of nuclear, of a nuclear war. Who do we need to be afraid of? The Middle East, Iran, Saudi Arabia, who funded and created the whole war with, the 9/11. I don't know, lovies. I don't know, my darlings. It seems to be a giant bloody cock up for me. I look at it all and go, now they're on about. So let's have a little look at. They're now on about the fact that Iran have a terrible, terrible attitude towards women, and they have a terrible attitude about, they treat women terribly and they treat gay people appallingly, and etc., etc., etc. And I'm thinking to myself, well, people in glass houses can't throw stones. Trump and the Republican Party, they've all got a great attitude about women and women's health care and women's rights. Not mentioning, black and brown people. Do people have any rights? No, not according to, the Donny Two Dolls and the Republicans, the gangsters. No, now we've got a situation where they're accusing Iran of all these things, and take a closer look at home, kiddies, and they're homophobic. Look at all the evangelicals and all the crap and all the bullshit around, gay rights and gay people, and then you've got Vance with his eyeliner, and being associated with his friend, the very, very dangerous, and I called it out a long, long time ago, the very, very dangerous Peter Thiel, and that was right what I said about it, because when all that information came out about stealing the election, who was behind it all initially, and who bought the company that began it all? Peter Thiel. So metaphorically, they're holding hands. It's all a bit sus, isn't it, darling? And of course, not to mention, quite some time ago, Vance got a big payout of an amount of money, and Thiel and his mate Musk, drug addict Musk, it's a joke. I mean, I hope at the end of all this somebody makes a movie out of it. So that's my rant. I'm going to do a little thing around the ceasefire. I did it yesterday in my reading yesterday. Interestingly, I'm going to have another go at it today. Will the ceasefire? And then I'm going to also do a little reading around the impeachment, AOC and the impeachment. I notice he's having a shot back at AOC, but it's all around literacy or something. And can he talk? I mean, he can't string two freaking words together. Okay, so will the ceasefire, pardon me, that he said he did a deal on, which is bullshit, will the ceasefire exist? Will it stay? Will it hold? Will it stay in place if there is such a thing? What did he say about the planes flying over there? Or Netanyahu said something about the planes that were flying over there were just waving or something. Who do they think they're talking to? They think they're talking to a bunch of morons. Well, you know, monkey see, monkey do. They just think that, you know, they think these things themselves, and they think it's so, you know, it applies to everybody else. I don't think there's any, you know, it's a bit like the space people. Is there anybody else on Earth? Anybody else out there? Okay, I'm going to go with that. Eight of Cups just fell out. This is the Eight of Cups. I'm going to put it down there because I'm going to do a reading on the ceasefire. Will the ceasefire exist? Will it stay in place? And the bullshit story about world peace. Now we're all at peace. I've slapped you in the face, kicked you in the shins, I've knocked you to the ground, I've humiliated you, but don't worry, we're all sweet now. That's what gangsters do, don't they? Frighten the shit out of everybody and then walk away and go, no, we're all set now. We're all sorted. Yeah, right. Okay, let's have a look at it. Will the ceasefire exist? The Tower card, doesn't surprise me. Eight of Cups, the Tower card, I'll go back over him in a minute. The Sun card, Knight of Wands, and the next card out, Two of Cups. Okay, so I'm going to go with it all. Eight of Cups, walking away. No, it's not going to hold because Netanyahu cannot walk away. He cannot walk away from what he's created. He cannot walk away from what he's done. He cannot put a full stop behind the sentence right now. He cannot do it. He just can't. He can't, because what would he have? Nothing. And he's not going to lose face, and he's not going to do it. So Netanyahu's not going to do it. Tower card, pulling down of old structures. Well, to me, this is this whole thing about, you know, the sky is falling, and it's going to fall down around Trump's ears. That's for sure. And his mate Netanyahu, either inadvertently or purposefully, is going to be part of that. He's going to end up with egg on his face, and he's not going to like it, and he's going to come up with some other cock and bull bullshit story like he was doing when he went to the aeroplane and said they don't know what they're doing. And I thought, God, Donny $2, you're looking in the mirror, love, are you? Okay, the Sun card. The Sun card, these two people here working to get, seemingly working together, are not. They're not working together. Two of Cups the same, and we've got the Knight of Wands here. I read off the cards, the energies of it and what I get, and I see this fellow here. This is, you know, this is the Netanyahu's a dangerous character, very, very dangerous person, and America should have stayed out of it. Will America, will Donny $2, will he decide that? My question to my people is, will he decide to now stay out of it and leave Netanyahu to fight it out himself? And will America continue to provide arms? Yes, they will. I'm going to look at that. Will America continue to provide arms? Yes, they will. Yeah. Not without pushback. There's going to be some pushback in Congress over that. There's going to be, after all this, there's going to be pushback in Congress over it. Seven of Cups came out. There's going to be pushback about it all. There's going to be quite a bit said about it all, because it'll be very, very interesting. there's going to be more women in Congress. Who am I seeing? Crockett, AOC, the lady from Massachusetts, I think she is, short white hair. What's her name? Can't think of her name right now. Might come to me by the time we do this. But I see her. I see her being part of it. Elizabeth Warren. I see her being part of it, and the Seven of Pentacles came out. So that's all about money and funding, and it isn't going to be that easy. I think there's going to be some pushback on this after what's happened, because the strike on Iran would have cost heaps, and I think he's going to retreat to throwing his hands in the air, and he's going to come up with some other spin on what it's all about and why he did it and all the rest of it, and that they've now knocked it all out. They don't have any nuclear capabilities, so but that's not what Netanyahu's about. He wasn't about that in the first place. He wasn't about the capabilities, nuclear capabilities. That wasn't why he hit Iran. He didn't hit Iran because of the capabilities. He didn't. Regime change. He's wanting a regime change in, is he in with the Crown Prince or whatever he is, the fellow in Iran? Is he in with him? That's my question. Is there something going on between Netanyahu and the Crown Prince for a regime change to get rid of the fellow that's there? Is that what this is all about? There is something around that. There's something around the regime and the change, and it involves the Crown Prince. I'm going to go with that. I'm being told that. I was told that early in the week. I don't know much about it. I didn't delve into it. I was just told that it's got something to do with it, so we'll see about that. Now, what am I up to? I want to, before I go today, there's a couple of things I want to do. I want to just have a look at AOC and the impeachment, and old Donny Two Dolls is screaming about if they've tried to impeach him before. Would it be successful this time? They need a number of Republicans. Are they ready for that? Are they hurting enough with their constituents? And do they see the midterms on the horizon staring them in the face? Do they see that as being enough motivation? Is it enough motivation that they are hurting in their own areas to shore up and grow some balls and, maybe see if they can retrieve their morals from wherever they put them? Sounds a bit hard, doesn't it, Dale? No, not really. Let's face it, I mean, it's a fact. The Empress. Okay, that's me girl. That's me girl, AOC. And the next card out is the Page of Cups. There is going to be some news coming. There's some stuff going on. There's phone calls. There's a lot of stuff going on. We are going to get some news. We're going to see some news on the impeachment. Four of Swords. We're going to see some news on the impeachment. There's going to be something come out about it by the time this video comes out. That may well have happened. There is going to be something around that. Now, I'm not going to say or even pretend that I know what that is, but there is something. There is something that's been underneath it all, and that's going to come out. Four of Swords, absolutely, he's in deep shit. and it's not going to be as easy as it's been before. And he can talk about his impeachments and all the rest of it, but there's a lot going on. Now, what I'm feeling is that this is all about what's going on behind. I'm hearing a lot of shuffling along hallways. I'm feeling all these people back and forwards, in and out doors, in and out here, in and out there, in. All this stuff's going on. Hallways. People in and out rooms, shuffling along hallways. Footsteps rushed, in a hurry, exchanging things. Okay, go with that. Ace of Pentacles, yes, something is on the way. Four of Cups, 3 gone, 1 left. I feel, given the hallway, given all the people, 9 of Pentacles, women. It's going to be driven by the women in Congress, and they're going to be very, very strong about it. And yes, the impeachment is going to go ahead, and it's not as what was originally thought. It was just to have it on the books, so to speak, that there'd been, it had gone through and there'd been a motion for impeachment. No, it's going to be more than a motion for impeachment. Much more. No, the fight is on. Okay, what have we got here? Justice card and the Fool. The fight is on. They just threw themselves out of the pack as I was working with it. The Fool, new beginnings, and the Justice card. Who would have thought? It'd be the impeachment that would rattle the cage? Who would have thought? I'm just going to have another quick little glimpse at that. I just want to have another little glimpse at it. The impeachment. Who would have thought? There's a lot going on. Yes, all right. Yes, okay. Yeah. A lot going on behind the scenes, the Moon card. A lot going on behind the scenes. I told you, I heard them shuffling along hallways and running in and out rooms. I'm going to pack up my little book, put it up here. Hallways, running around, a lot going on behind the scenes, way more than what you can even imagine. There's a lot of talking, a lot of oh yes, okay. There's a lot of a lot of the Republicans. They're all searching for their morals. I love it. Don't you love it? The Ten of Swords. He's not in good shape, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the impeachment's got teeth. I originally thought that it didn't. That it was just it's just a bit of a thing they were doing. Nothing had come of it. But that's not true. There is, and there's a push behind it, a real push behind it. That's it, my darlings. That's it. That's today's show. Now, we do have, I'm hoping, no, we do have, we've organised it. So Monday is the 7th of July. I'm just looking at my calendar on my phone here. Monday is the 7th of July. We're doing a recording on the Monday, and the weekend, the Saturday, is The 12th. So on the 12th of next month, we will have a guest collaboration with Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under will be a guest on the 12th. So look out for that one. I'm giving you a heads up on it. That'll be fabulous. And hopefully we'll be getting we've had some more replies from people who are, busy and wanting and are interested in being on the show. So just have to give that a little bit of time. I'll be sending out a couple of more personal invites this week before the week is out, so that I can bring on a couple of more people. So hopefully for the month of July, or for most of the month of July, I'll have a guest on the show. And I'm saying because I'm not sure what the outcome of Jude and I continuing to work together will be. Anyway, we'll see, darlings, we'll see. Don't want to go into that too much right now and preempt all that. Just need to at the moment. Maybe it'll just be some respite and a bit of rest for Jude. Maybe she needs to step back and just give herself some time and rest. We'll see, darlings, we'll see. Okay, now, as you know, before I go, I always say, when you go, I go with you. And I do. I love you all. And I wish I was there to give you lots of hugs. And when I go, you go with me. And you sure do. You're the reason I do the show. Every single solitary one of you. And thank you, Mandy, for your comments on my show this week, on Wednesday's Morning Cuppa with Wallace, which this week I did a little bit of a rant as well. I've had all of this stuff on my mind, and and I want to leave with this, that it's people power. We said it a week or whatever ago. I think the title of the last show was People Power, suggesting to people and urging people to have their say, speak out. Right? Look, there's lots of ways to have your say. There's lots of ways to be powerful, and being powerful in all of this, call your congressman, write to the Senate, write to things, editorial for newspapers, write. Now, you might think all of these things fall on deaf ears, but they don't, because if they get enough of it, then they sit up and take notice. Now, that doesn't mean that they'll go out and they'll print it or they'll say anything about it, but you know damn well that the energies of it is collective and it grows, and you have to believe that, because it does. Don't keep me going. Okay, so you go with me. I love you all. I care about you. I look forward to seeing you next week on Wallace Psychic Medium. I'm going to call it at the moment. I'm not really bloody quite sure what to call it, really. But anyway, I'm here. I've got to call it something. And it's hard to call it for both when both aren't here. So I don't know. I'm feeling at the moment a bit like I've got my foot nailed to the floor. Not sure about things. And but anyway, like the world and like everything else, that'll sort itself out, because I am in a really, I want you to know, I'm in a very, very uplifted, positive space, ready to take on the universe and all its positivity and all its energy and all its wonderful, wonderful output. I love you. I go with you. You go with me. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now, darlings. Bye for now.